these are all great aphorisms. Oh, work smart, not hard. And, you need to fight for yourself and lean in and all this, right? Great. But where does that establish authority for you? What right do you have to tell me advice?
Dennis.
Hi, how are you?
Well, thank you. It's so good to see you and have this one-on-one. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, such an honor. You exude such energy.
Oh my gosh, you're so kind. I'm so happy that I found you. I mean, I found you through John Lee, but I
Yeah.
gotta say your step by steps and your, very detailed reports and such, they're so helpful. So thank you for
Thank you.
doing, yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
And John, hey. And I like how you are going through the steps. And I see you and Tucker are going through them and you're asking questions and you're assembling your funnels to sell the consulting and the workshops. I love seeing that because the number one reason people fail with these checklists or in these programs is just not doing it. It really is that simple. It's like baking cookies, you have to, if you follow the recipe, you will get cookies.
Indeed. And the more I'm doing, I gotta say I have so many questions and I don't want to annoy anybody with my questions because the more I do, the more questions I have, like the deeper I'm getting into it. And I just want to make sure I set things up correctly. So, but yeah, thank you.
Good.
How can I not implement after all the time you guys have put in to build all of this for us,
Thank you. All right. Well, let me share my screen and let's tackle some of those questions. And some of them are going to be more like tech support kinds of questions. And you could look at that through our training or through Tucker, and I could even handle them really quickly. And some of these are more strategy oriented where we want to drive sales for you, right?
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. So I think you have these two sites, Stress-Free Career Woman, and then your other one. Let me click on both of them so we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's Score Your Work Stress.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's like these URLs get longer and longer because all the domains are taken.
Yeah, I know, right? I also wanted it to make sense for when people read it, what they're getting into.
Yep. Yep.
So
Okay.
this redirect, as you can see, to my main website.
Yeah. So both of these sites obviously are brand new and there's not a lot of traffic or content here. So what they need to see is you. Now, I like this cartoon, right? I think this embodies your energy, right? Your enthusiasm, but it would be so much more powerful, Priya, do you think, if here you could still have this and you could still have your landing page, but there's a video of you talking about your story, right? Talking about the different kinds of stress, because these are both basically landing pages because this one has only 4 pages on it, right?
Correct. Yes.
And somehow, let's see, you rank on one keyword. What is it? Stress-free career.
Yay.
Yeah, you rank on position 77.
Really? Like 77 out of, I don't know how many there are type situation?
Yeah, well, let's see. Let's take a look.
Wow, that's not so bad, I guess, considering I just started building it out like 2 months ago.
So I'm going to give you something that will help you rank a lot better. Okay, so here let's see. You know what? These are things that you
That's me right there.
could do 1-minute videos on and articles on each of these topics. People also ask, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of competition here. I mean, there looks like there's a lot of competition because of the 67 million here.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
what we want to do, we need to have lots of content where people, they need to be informed. They need to hear your story. They need to go from the why to the how to the what, right? Like we talked about in the masterclass.
Yes.
So the why is a bunch of your stories. So this is I think it's intentional by your part, which is okay. And you still want to do this. This is the what, the what is the selling. The what is, sign up for our thing, right? Someone probably told you should have your call to action right away, right? Which is great. But in order for people to say, oh, I want to sign up for a free call with Priya to see if she can help me because of her story, but I wonder if her story really relates to mine. And I like how you show a mix, diverse mix of these ladies. And I think did you tell me in the JL Club that they're younger, mostly earlier in their career?
Yeah, so basically, I want to help the next generation of women. So if you go to my about page, my goal is I am so passionate about helping the younger generation, the next generation of women, if you will. Because when I started out, I basically work in a male-dominated financial services industry, pretty similar to tech. I mean, you come from the tech background, having been an executive at Yahoo, so I don't know how many women there were back in the day, and so
Not very, very few.
right. So,
Even less than today.
yeah. So I've been fortunate to have been surrounded by really great, mentors, not women mentors, but men who took an interest in my career and they helped me, but it took really long to climb the corporate ladder. It wasn't always easy. And so I want to make it easy for the next generation of women. Like, I don't want to have to go through, I don't want them to have to go through all these challenges and obstacles, if they can avoid it and learn from my experience. So it's not about helping them get a job, it's really helping them perform better and, break that glass ceiling, if you will, while they're at the job, so
yeah. Right. Because there's a lot of stuff on how do you get a job and how do you interview and how do you get skills and, how do you break into the big banks at on Wall Street or, I get that. So the softer side, I see issues such as, well, you see the people that are already talking about this stuff, like Sheryl Sandberg talking about leaning in, right? Or Ariana Huffington, right? Talking about sleep or the boardrooms. I remember she told a story in her, wasn't just her book, but being on several boards, she would meet and be the only woman and find there was a male bathroom and no female bathroom, and no one knew where the female bathroom was.
Right. Sorry, who are you referring to just now?
Ariana Huffington.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yeah. So these are things that you should have blog posts about.
Yes, that's my next do is to set up my blog. Yes, I love writing, by the way, Dennis. So that's going to be fun for me to do. It comes easy. I mean, we'll see how these articles sound, but I love writing generally. It's not something I shy away from.
Yeah. Career success strategy, workplace stress management. Okay. So these women that are encountering a glass ceiling and they're struggling, what do you think they would, if they went to Google, what would they search for?
This is the problem when you do the Google search, it's really sad that not a lot of women do that typical search of getting promoted or doing well. Like they will search for corporate outfits before they will search for anything corporate, like how do I do well on my job? So that's been really tough. Like I've been doing all these keyword searches and Google searches to see those, like how it's tracking. What is it, keywords anywhere? And to see like how many people actually per month actually type that in. I'm not getting a lot of hits and such. This is almost like I feel like if I were, given a platform to go speak on a stage, or people are interested, women are interested, but that's not what they're searching for. Once they get the job, I think they're more interested in the shoes and bags. I've been there. I know what's like, you know what I mean?
That's a story to tell. Yeah.
Because they don't expect that they can, like they get ignored in meetings. They're not visible. They're just happy to get the job. And they just want to do the thing, like as in keep the job, but they're not thinking about promotion because they think that men get the promotion and that's fine. They'll be the number two. Yeah. So they're not actively searching. So I don't know how you would.
There's a couple ways. So you're saying from a keyword standpoint, the women aren't even searching this because they're looking for shoes and bags, and so that points out the fact that there's a problem to begin with, right? So if the keywords are sparse, then we go after who they are and who they follow. So if they're junior roles in financial services, we can target that. So it's not by keyword, it's targeting by who they are, attributes of who they are, where they work. So you have a lot of, Deloitte and Goldman and Bank of America, all these other financial services companies on your landing page. So we could say, do you have some mentors at some of these companies that you can interview? So then we could reach other people at their company and related companies.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I'm still on my job, so I haven't pursued that avenue yet. Because we're not supposed to have a side hustle. There's all these, I never was on social media because financial services industry, there's this huge compliance issue.
Oh, for sure.
I just recently created all of this, so I'm gonna, everything's possible. It's just a matter of just doing it. So I have to find a way to make it happen. But no, I want a lot of suggestions.
Yeah. There's compliance issues. We know all about that with banking and insurance. And even, we have a lot of doctors. So they have HIPAA, which I think in some ways is trickier than FINRA and other, let's see here. Somehow you have to tell your story. Otherwise, you can't get the traffic and conversion. Okay, you have these competitors. Let's take a look. Which of these do you want to look at first?
You can look at either one of the first two. It's fine.
Boss Babe, is that Heather?
Boss Baby are these two women who are targeting New York women. It's more about getting them to leave their jobs and be, entrepreneurs. It's these people. These are from the UK. They're from the UK,
Okay.
but they're huge on Instagram and such.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so here, well, they have a lot of. Hey, Mark. Sorry, hang on a second. Hey, Mark, I've got something for you. Phone call. Hey, Mark. Well, your phone. The phone is ringing for you. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that.
No
Okay,
worries.
you can see they have a ton of content. 12,000 pages. Let's look at their top keywords and let's look at what they rank on and where they're getting this stuff from for both of them. Lolly. Okay. Success quotes, motivational quotes for success, how to be mentally strong. Wow. Truth teller. Why do I attract toxic people? You see this?
I do see that. That's great.
And they're getting a lot of traffic. Wow.
Will I get a recording of this just so I can?
Yeah. This is the recording is for you.
Oh, awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. And they have been, wow, they've been increasing in their rankings. Look, like this, stress quotes. They went from number 7 to number 6. And how they're doing it, you can see, Priya, is these are almost all listicles. You know what a listicle is?
No.
A listicle is 10 ways on how to do this and 100 quotes from these people and 5 ways to do this, right? 5 staggering reasons you attract toxic people. So you saw the tool that the AI that generates blog posts and content, right?
Yes, the conversion AI.
Yeah. So this will help you generate these kinds of things, not completely, just as a framework. And then you add in your pieces, you add in your pictures, you add in links to your other things, right? How to deal with bossy people, fear-based leadership. See, this is working for them.
Yeah.
This is working. Okay.
Incidentally, can I share with you my Instagram account? I created that only 2.5 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And I have 932 followers.
Yeah, that is great. Actually, you have 933 followers.
Oh, yay. Wow. Oh, so you can see that. Yeah. So you see, I've kind of done I didn't know, but I guess I've done the listicle kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, you have, these are listicles, but you have to turn them. Now take the next step. Take the most popular one.
Yeah.
And turn them into an article, because this Instagram is not going to show up on Google. It's not going to show up on, Twitter, these other places.
Got it.
This is great. Yeah. I think you put that in your strategy assessment, a couple of your Instagrams.
This is the only social media, something that I can say that I've actually put some time and work into.
Yeah.
Facebook page I haven't really worked on much yet.
This is great. Yeah. So you got a lot of likes on these, which is what you typically see on Instagram. Now consider, how do we get it so that people engage? Because there's 2 comments here, right?
Yeah.
A couple comments, 130 likes, but no comments.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a chicken and egg. This is sort of a glass is half full thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of who's engaging here?
Yeah, I do. Like some of them, like when they see something, they're like, oh, that is so correct. Like I can resonate with that, or, those type of comments, or
Yeah.
like, yeah. The reason I thought like maybe Instagram's working well for me is because I think my target market might be here, the younger generation, or I feel like Facebook, because it's been around so much longer than Instagram.
Yeah.
So I feel like my people might be here.
You should consider setting up your Instagram Messenger bot.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the 1,000 followers to hit, because I'm not approved yet to use the bot yet.
Yeah, younger women on Instagram, they're on Wall Street or financial services somewhere. That makes a lot of sense. You could run ads here.
I'm boosting my posts like small amounts, for better reach. But yeah, no, I mean, going back to what you were showing me, the listicles of that, the Arabs in the Arabs. I just wanted to mention that I'm kind of doing that, but obviously I'm not getting that traction.
Right. Well, you got to get traffic. Looking at Ahrefs or other tools will show you the keywords, but if you don't rank, it doesn't matter. So I think the biggest thing you're missing is the video that you then turn into ads. You said you're working on a lead magnet, so that's good.
So, now I'm thinking that that quiz is kind of my lead magnet, because I have, within a week, I have 55 people on my email list. I had 0.
Good.
So
Good.
My active campaign to sort of manage that. It's my lead magnet now, as opposed to a static PDF report, which I was going to do. So you can take the quiz, and then it produces a customized PDF report which I'm sending to them.
Wow, really? That you built all that already?
Yeah, I've done that. So I got, so it's been, 8 days now. I have 55 people on my list.
Wow. Sure. Okay. Okay. This is great. Can't wait to see my little customized PDF.
Yeah, thanks.
And then you should have a little video of you saying, hey, Priya here, congrats on doing the quiz. I can't wait to help you in your career. And, those coworkers or the bosses that treat you bad or whatnot, I'm going to show you how to deal with them. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's exactly what I want to do, because I tell you, nobody teaches us any of this at school. At least nobody taught me. And, I got my MBA and everything. I still didn't learn like shit, practical, like, things that when you really come to the real world, like things are not like when they're at college or when you're living at home or anything. It's just so different, and nobody teaches you.
Yeah.
There's no guidebook, like, I mean, so that's what I do. I almost want to create like a step-by-step guidebook, just like you create for your client, like follow these things and you will succeed. And you don't have to work 80, 100 hours a week like I did. You can have that balance, that harmony, that work-life harmony. And it's okay to say no. And it's all this. So for my book, by the way, can I run this idea by you? Because I'm going to be working with Tucker on that.
Yeah, definitely.
What I came up with. Are you overdoing it? And it's going to be like top 7 mistakes that women make in the workplace.
Okay. That sounds good. Well, we'll just test it. Put it out there on Instagram saying, hey, what do you think about this book? Would you buy it? Or what about these different
writing it? Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime before you create something, you should put it out there and see what people think, see what your audience thinks.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. It's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I can give you advice, but I'm not a young woman in her career, earlier.
I'm sure you were surrounded by all these like women when you were working, when you first started, and
we help a lot of young adults. I mean, even today we train and mentor, like even Tucker, he's another young adult, right? We have a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see. You had the question about the 2 pixels.
Yeah, I think that's a little, I don't know why. I didn't think you could create one on your personal account, but it seems like I might have the personal account one.
Well, let's see. The stress-free career woman has 1 pixel, which is fine. Oh, what was the other one? I had it open. You have, is it a question of 2 Google accounts? Okay, so there's a problem here.
So is this on my website showing up, or is this like in my Google Analytics account? Because I only put in 1 GA tag on my website.
Yeah, there's 1 of them, but you have 2 properties.
Yeah. So I created.
I don't know why you have 2.
Yeah, I created 2 properties today. One for my Score Your Work Stress and one for Stress-Free Career Woman, like main website today. But this is from before. I don't know what this is about.
Okay.
Because before I couldn't even create a UA. I only had a GA. So I followed you step by step in the plumbing module today to create 2 specific UAs.
Okay. And this is the old Google Analytics, which is UA, Universal Analytics. So everyone's moving to Google Analytics 4, which you're going to want in the next year.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be so worried about that.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
I wouldn't be too worried about that because we need to just drive traffic and conversion. It's only when you're starting to sell things that really matters. And you want to put the analytics tag inside your tag manager.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is a little bit technical, but you want to have all tags inside your Google Tag Manager, not direct on the site. Okay. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you want 1 because you have these 2 sites. So that should be, you're right. That should be 2 tags inside the same account, but you want to use Tag Manager to do that. Okay. And the pixel on your personal account, you want to put that inside most people, when they start with Facebook ads, they put it in their personal Facebook ads account, but you want to do it in Business Manager. You want to move that ad account in Business Manager. And then we have a course on Business Manager on how to set that up, which you get access to.
Yeah, I have a Business Manager account. It's funny, when I created the pixel, I didn't know inadvertently I created it with the personal. I didn't even know you could do that because I thought pixels and all ad manager, all this is like business related.
Yeah, you need the Business Manager for control. Because as you grow, you're going to have other people helping you out, and you're going to build a team, and you'll have multiple assets because you already have the 2 website thing going on, and you'll soon have other ones. And you also want to be able to do things like retargeting. So email and web retargeting, you need to do that properly. That has to live inside Business Manager.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then iOS 14, you want to do 2 things about that, where you have UTM parameters on any URL. So whether it's an email, like off of this quiz thing.
Yeah.
Or just URLs from elsewhere, you want to have UTM so that we understand the source. And
So TM
Go ahead.
for my score the score quiz. So I've set that up just to be able to tell if people are coming from Instagram or Facebook. But I wasn't doing it purposefully for iOS 14. So thanks for letting me know that that's what I need to do it for as well.
Okay. This email that comes to me, what is the title? What is it going to say in it?
Your customized stress report. It takes about if it is
Oh,
coming,
so it's still coming.
it
Okay.
takes about 12 to 15 minutes sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So it might not be here quite yet. Okay.
It's going to come from my email, priya@stressfreecareerwoman.com. Yeah, I don't think it's
But it
arrived.
hasn't come yet. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
So yeah, but no, I'm totally open to all the suggestions. So the one thing you said is the UTM, and the other thing I need to do
Is the conversion API. So whatever your shopping cart is or CRM, they should automatically be doing that.
okay.
So, whether it's Shopify or Infusionsoft or whatever, it's always up to the CRM to pass back the conversion.
So Active Campaign is it's not a CRM at all, right? Even though it's sort of like got some.
Well, Active Campaign is what is kind of like them and HubSpot and Infusionsoft are all in ones. So I'm not sure about Active Campaign. And,
Yeah, it's more like a advanced MailChimp or something.
yeah, because that's a good way to look at it. Okay, so here it is. So you can go check this out.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can go into my account and just quickly see something.
Yeah, it's a conversion API.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Okay.
In terms of keywords again, because you made a very good point when we started this meeting about what keywords I should be using, because that's going to really determine and drive the traffic, right? Because if women are not searching, we were looking at that example of one of the competitors.
Yeah. Well, of the posts that you have here on Instagram, what are the ones that are resonating? Why are they resonating? You have some of these that, 200 likes, and you have one that's 300, and some have more comments.
Yeah.
Which of these, you listed two of them in your strategy assessment, but what is it about the posts that are winning? What's the angle here? That'll drive the keyword and the targeting.
Yeah, it's either
a lot of people taking the quiz. Why are these women taking the quiz?
Like, oh, you won't believe, like, the score your work stress, like even guys, they're like, oh, I'm sure my level is super high, my stress levels, and they want to like test it out and they want to know where they're at. So that's that curiosity factor. I feel like sometimes if you place things in front of people, they're already thinking about it, but they don't think it's available because it's never been available. Like women, there's hardly any women role model. I mean, I shouldn't say, there's more now. Yeah. It's more about, I'll refer you to so and so, I'll get you an interview. It's not about really helping them. It's not even, when you get to the job, there's nobody really guiding you, holding your hand, and women get lost, and there's no support system really. And they don't want to talk to HR. They don't want to seem weak to their boss. There's all these other things going on, They don't want to be perceived a certain way, to have this image, oh no, I know I can work 80 hours, it's fine, I can do this, I want to prove myself. So there's all of that going on. But when you present that in front of them, I'm noticing like they're engaging. They're like, yeah, this is my issue. So that's what I'm noticing. I don't know if that answers your question.
So everything you're saying on the softer things, not the technical skills thing, on stress and lack of direction in the career and not having other people to talk to and being overloaded and being unsure, I think ties in well with this listicle format, which you kind of already have in Instagram on stress and career direction, which I think intuitively, makes naturally sequences to the quiz. So if you make more content about the quiz and get other people's feedback about the quiz, and then of course, when you take a quiz, it's going to score you and into these categories, right? And the categories based on this, you should have this kind of recommendation. So we call that metrics analysis action. And I want you to study how that works. It's module 6 in our training system. It's called optimization, right? Metrics analysis action. The idea is that you gather metrics because of what they said. Well, according to this quiz, you answer, here's the data. The analysis is, here's what it means. So a good report will not just say, well, according to this, you are more stressful, you carry more stress than 80% of the people, or, here's on each of these questions, here's what the average person says, this is where you are. Clearly you can have that, but you need to have more insight, right? I haven't seen the result, but you see what I mean? Like a good quiz provides some kind of insight, just like a Myers-Briggs or, these personality tests, this kind of thing. And then the action is, because of this diagnosis, then this is what you need to study. This is what you need to do, or this is a coaching program, or here's an article that's specifically for people that are scored in this category, right? So if you think about metrics, analysis, action, that's the same thing in the medical world as collecting the vitals, like the blood and all the x-rays, right?
Yeah.
To the diagnosis, which is, we'll put up the stats here. Priya, it looks like you have, a broken collarbone from skiing or something like this, right? And then the treatment plan is, and therefore this is what we're going to do. We're going to do some surgery. We're going to put you in the hospital for a few days, or we're going to give you some pain medication, right? The same thing, metrics, analysis, action, collecting the vitals, diagnosis, treatment plan. So you want to use the same logical approach here, which you already have. You've got the quiz to collect some data, then analysis, so you can give them some automated feedback about this. And then the action is, here's some things related to people who answered this way. And then I would love to personally one-on-one talk to you live, discuss with you live your results.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
So that should be your funnel. I think you already have enough data here to show that's working. When you had 50 some people take the quiz, you barely even launched it. You barely have any traffic coming in already, but people are taking the quiz. Do you have feedback from people who are taking the quiz?
I don't have feedback. Oh, here we go.
Okay. So this is just like these personality reports, the ones that I can see. Okay, why is this not scrolling? Download this.
What? It does on my computer. I don't know.
I'll try opening it again. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you have some knowledge leading in. McKinsey, lean in. Okay, good. Stress triggers. So this looks general. Okay, wow. I'm sure most people have this. Red. Okay. Well, the questions that you have in this score, you could turn into little articles talking about your boss, your coworkers, or how you feel. 86. Okay. I would move some of these components up. I would move some of the personalized components up. Because the first 7 pages, it looks like it's just everyone gets the same thing. Because then it could be like, the biggest issue is your boss, 86%, and then tie back in some of these other bits. Yeah. Just so people know it's personalized, right? They don't really know it's personalized till later.
Yeah.
But this is still great. Wow, I love the graphics.
Thanks.
Ask yourself this: what would it look like if you could deal with these coworkers? Yeah, okay. Well, the next step is, here's the thing, let's see. These tips. Okay, these are great tips. Next steps. Okay, good. So you naturally are doing this. Click this link below. Just make it a button. It's harder to see.
But yeah, you can click and it'll take you to my Calendly to book.
Yeah, there needs to, at this point here, there needs to be a smiling picture of Priya.
Got it.
Get in touch with us here. Okay. All right, this is good. This is all helpful. You've broken down the stress into these 3 categories. Now think about how you can add authority, right? This is what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Where some of your authority comes from just because topically what you have is really good, and you have a quiz and the design and all that's done very well. But think about and I know it's going to be tougher in financial services, but the feedback that you gather from other people, or more things around your background, around your story. Because I could go to the internet and do a search for, dealing with stress or something like that. And there's going to be lots of things, Quora is a great place. Although I don't think the young adults are there on Quora as much. All right. So you personalize with my name and you put a date here. Okay. But
so, you think right after here, I should move the scores and everything that's you up?
I think you just show the summary, just with the 3 circles, and then say, and now before we go into the detail, here's how the system works. And then here's how, just so they know that it's personalized.
Right.
And then here, like it puts in my name.
Yeah.
But people love listening to themselves and looking at themselves. So here, if you could move this down just a little bit and say Dennis's work stress report, in the same same font, just like that big, right?
Yeah.
But here where it says your work stress report, and then down here, the computer just added in this. This is not as powerful. Can you imagine if this, instead of saying the word your here, it said Dennis's work stress report? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just simple little things like that, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. That's big. It's huge, actually. I'll see if
and then, so you have this, okay, and then you have these stats and all this, and it's not to say that these aren't good stats and it's not good research, but they need to hear that it's you. There's somewhere in here, probably right after this cover page, it should say, hey, Priya here again. I am so glad that you took this stress report. And together we're going to go through these particular components and make some recommendations for you, right? And you're in the right place, right? Because this looks like some corporation or some group or somebody. I don't feel any connection with you. So I could go through this and I could say, yeah, this score makes sense. And, I'm 83% and 75% and whatever it is here, right?
Yeah.
But then, okay, I don't feel like I'm spending time with you.
Yeah.
How do there's no authority here, right?
Yeah.
So then you finally get to the end, like, okay, this is helpful. Okay, because you answered this way or that way. But I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think as many people are going to click on this. Because these women, because they feel isolated and they don't have the direction and they don't feel love from their boss or their coworker, that's all an interpersonal kind of connection.
Yes.
So if that's the main problem, when we're rubbing salt in that wound, then you have to establish that you're building a personal connection with them. Otherwise, you're just continuing the problem, right?
That is so true. It's funny. Now that you put it this way, I mean, I can see your perspective completely, because I was thinking, hey, I'm making this whole report about them. So it's not like my story and my hero's journey. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make it valuable, but you have a good point.
Yeah.
It has to be that connection piece.
Yeah,
a short one, but yeah.
Because at the end, they want to feel like, oh, Priya, she cares. She understands what my issues are. I want to talk to her further. But right, if people get everything you're saying is logically correct and it's beautiful, but how much, right? Think about the user. They go through this thing. They took the quiz. They get this. They're excited to see the report. But then when they hit this point, how close of a connection do they feel with you, that you care?
Yeah. I mean, this is too soon of a call to action anyways. They definitely need to see a webinar or something,
Right.
with my face in it. I just haven't created that yet, but that would be my next thing. Maybe connect them to my webinar, like you suggested.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and then make it an evergreen webinar.
Yeah.
And then you could spend some money on ads to it, just a little bit, just to gather data and get these initial coaching calls and see how people do.
Yeah.
But this is great what you have here. You've got the basic steps of the funnel. Great job.
Thanks.
Yeah. Now just make it more personal, and often the cartoon thing can cut both ways, because the cartoon thing can be fun, and cartoons people will use in situations that are deeply personal or embarrassing just to make it more lightweight. But the other side of cartoons is it's not as serious.
Yeah.
And if I want to talk to Priya, then and I want Priya to connect, and I probably need an actual picture, not a cartoon of Priya, right?
Yeah. So even on my website, like my whole logo, my branding is like all cartoons. You think my face should be on the first page somewhere, even though I have my picture on the about page?
I think you need to mix it up a little bit, and it may potentially feel like you're confusing your branding by having cartoon versus real. But if it's purely cartoon, then I don't know if I want to get on the phone with a cartoon.
That's true.
I might like to read quotes from the cartoon. I'm entertained by the humor of the cartoon. But if I really want to connect with somebody, I need to see their face. And you have a great face and a great smile and a great energy. So why not? Without revealing any details about your work that could get you in trouble or compliance, this sort of stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good job here.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, these are very few and very small steps I've taken so far, but I'm building on it. So
yeah, cool. Well, you're going to get the recording on this. Zoom will render it and send it to me within the next 30 minutes, and I'll share that with you and Tucker and the team members.
Yeah, that sounds great. I
love the steps you've taken. I want to see you make some money. Everything you've done here so far is promising, but until you're making money, it's going to be, you want to be able to make money so that you're able to invest further in building this out, especially spending money on ads.
Yeah, it's true.
Organically, we want to see it working on Instagram. You've got Active Campaign, which is great. You've got this website, but I want to see you booking calls and these calls turning into coaching clients, and then use that money to invest in ads. You could you could still do dollar a day now and other techniques, but it's once you have paying clients that we can really turn the knob on this.
Yeah. Just the bio. How does the bio strike you, or the profile? Yeah, right there.
This is great. I would do a higher resolution picture of you, and I would have some of these that I would mix this up a little bit. These are all kind of the same.
Yeah.
And I understand you want to be on brand, but you have to show people other facets of you. Like you see with John Lee, right? The way he opened it up, because he's a master salesperson. He says, the reason you should listen to Dennis is because this, and this. Look at what he's accomplished, right? And part of it's a chicken and egg, because once more people have taken your quiz, you can say 10,000 women have taken my assessment, right? And you should be the next one. Or here's what these other women have to say. Jennifer says, whatever. Right. So kind of a social proof will help you because you're not trying to say that you have a clinical degree in organizational psychology or things like that, right? OBBP, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really my firsthand experience.
Yeah.
And the passion and the mission to help women.
Yeah.
I just want women to do really well and, just have all that balance in their life,
So what you said, you have to say that has to emote from a video and from pictures. You said it kind of here or there in the words, but it's almost like you have been a victim of this system too, because you're afraid of speaking out. And I'm not saying me too, and I'm not saying, that whole thing, right? Because you have a positive voice, but you have to come out and not be ashamed of your personal brand. Because that's this thing that what I detect here from spending time with you and looking at your content is that you have a message that is strong, that you believe in, you can help people, this works, this quiz and everything you have here is very intelligent and very passionate and done well. That's great. Most of the stuff we look at is, the qualities, you're going to need to work on this. But this is one of the, you are in that top 10% of calls where I look at this stuff and like, yes, I like working with people like this. So you have that, but the very thing that you are helping women with, I think you are suffering yourself because you're not putting you're hiding from putting your face and your personality. You got the cartoon and all that. That's great. But Priya, we want to see you, right? That's the most important point. I want to see you. Because if you can't show yourself, these other women won't show themselves either.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it like that. No, thank you so much for sharing that. Because sometimes, you know what, I'm in my own little world here. So so great to get not just anyone's perspective, like your perspective. I mean, you're doing such big things. So it means a lot, Dennis.
Yeah.
More than you'll know.
Well, I want to hear your progress along the way. Keep us updated in Basecamp. I think you're doing some really great things. Your execution is fantastic. In these early stages, I'd give you an A, but until you're making revenue, until you are actually taking coaching clients and you have more data coming through, we won't really know. But everything here from an early standpoint looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. You're very kind.
Yeah. And we're going to give you a copy of this recording. And I'd love to use this as coaching calls for other young adults that are building their funnels or other people that are learning how to put together a strategy just by showcasing what you've done. I think you've done a fantastic job. Most people, when they start out with their website and a little bit of marketing automation like Active Campaign, they don't get any traffic at all. But the fact that you have all these people that are engaging, we don't really know who they are yet, but they're starting to take the quiz is a really good sign. I love seeing that. So I'd love to share that with other people if that's good with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, these are young women. Like when you click on following, and then you go to their profile, you can see it's like the young women. They're like right out of college and some have, these jobs and such. So you can,
the Instagram bot will be interesting for you. I think, especially because we can run ads to it and you could, gate the posts and whatnot, and maybe it'll work on Facebook or not, but I get the sense it's going to be Instagram. Yeah. Okay.
So I want to say 20s and 30s is what I'm noticing. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. This definitely looks right up your alley.
I know. That's why I'm super stoked. I got lucky on Instagram because I never even had an account. Like I've never had personal social media accounts anyways. So that's why it was so funny how Facebook set me up, or I set myself up with the pixel on my personal.
Yeah. This is great. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic, Priya.
Awesome.
Awesome spending time with you.
Yeah. So more from you. By all means, if my little bit of anything can, help other people, then by all means,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did we do in today's session? Did you get value?
Are you kidding me? I always get value from you. That's why I always tuned into your office hours, no matter where. I love this session. I want to say thank you so much for sharing your, honest thoughts and opinions, and your encouragement means a lot to me. And actually giving the specifics of what's really missing and how I could improve, that was super helpful. Making that connection that I couldn't see myself, like pointing out things like my face is important, in addition to my cartoons and such. And how to make this into a searchable keyword by maybe having a blog is what I was reading into your message as well to me. Is that correct? Like starting with sort of
You're great.
Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
2 weeks ago when I attended your office hours, I think it was about authority and such. And it was, I think you'd mentioned blog, like we could, cross post on your platform.
Yes. If you write a blog post,
yeah,
if you write a blog post summarizing some of the things that you learned here, or advice to other people that are building their brand, that are just starting out, you can have that as a blog post on my site, and that is going to be very powerful from an SEO standpoint for you.
Okay. So it's about really branding and marketing. It's not about just any topic, right?
It could be any topic, but it has to be one that's relevant to your experience. Otherwise, it's just people giving random advice, which we don't want to have stuff like that.
Yeah, no, so it's not like about stress management advice. It has to be about branding and marketing. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Got it.
Branding, marketing, entrepreneurship, sales. Yeah, this kind of thing. Internet marketing.
Yeah, no, that's great. So hugely valuable.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Priya.